Well, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to the EDU Swarm Saturday, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's practically midnight Sunday, heading into Sunday. Welcome to our training and educational webinar. Today, we're going to focus on some questions and answers. We asked the EDU support for the main questions that people are being asked, plus Rick Thompson and myself, Mandy Elliott. We've got some sort of questions that we come across quite frequently. So we thought it was pretty important for us to share these questions and answers with you. So with that, I want to call out the main man himself. Rick Thompson, are you there?
Well, I am, Mandy. Thank you very much. And happy Saturday night to you over in Greece. And I know you guys are going through the dog days of summer, just like we are here in Texas. We're excited to get into the fall. And as you mentioned, Mandy, in the opening, direct sales, it's like any other new business. Anything that you start new in the summertime, that's what you want to, when you want to plan, get ready, so to speak. And that's what we've done. When I got a phone call from our owner back in March, and he said, I've got an idea, I've got a concept, and we started playing with it, put it on the floor and started fitting the pieces of the puzzle together, and really made this thing work, so that it'll be an opportunity for everybody in the world. Wherever there's an internet, there's an opportunity. And we're really heavy into that information and education, guys, I'll tell you. And you need to be too, because if you are not conversant with what is taking place with what is termed blockchain technology, you are going to miss one of the biggest financial opportunities that you are going to see in this lifetime. And I'm not joking about that. People say, yeah. Well, okay. Just remember you heard it here first. And that's what Bobby had the vision, to want to deal with cryptocurrency, which lives in the blockchain environment. And his vision, first of all, to put this program together, and secondly, to make it as advanced as possible, not to mention 100% legal to go with it. Those are all reasons that you need to share what we're doing with everybody that you come in contact with, because this truly is an opportunity that is going to be here for you for the long haul. It's a legacy company. And we've spent the last 3 months, and we are now perfectly positioned to take advantage of the timing, which here in the United States is right after Labor Day. Kids are back in school, summer's over. Everybody's now sitting there saying, boy, we got, 3 months to make money for the holidays, and they can make it with the Swarm. But before we get into the Q&A, Bobby, I'm going to kick it over to you. Just take a minute or two and share, with our listeners, what prompted you to want to put this program together for the people that we care about in our industry.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Okay. Well, I just stepped out. Would you just ask me why I put this together, Rick? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Basically, guys, it's because being in the industry for almost 30 years and loving the company that I'm even presently with, I just saw that so many people had a desire to do something to get ahead and make changes in their life. And, I wanted to put together something that really, we could do worldwide, something that we didn't have to bring products into a country. And that takes a lot of work, hard products, but then we did everything virtual. And of course, make something so affordable for everybody and make it a one-time out of pocket, because, there's definitely a place for, the companies that do a monthly, kind of auto ship type of thing. But we just didn't want to set it up that way. We really wanted to attract the masses, and doing something as low as 0.01 Bitcoin and one time out of pocket. We thought that would appeal to a lot of people, and have it learning education, which everybody could obviously use. And, with that, and then of course set up a kind of a platform where it was a team approach to making these sales. And of course, Rick and Mandy will tell you, in our program, every time you and your group average about 10 sales, you're going to get paid, but you're not doing that by yourself. You're doing that with a team approach. So we made it, kind of a way that really we could all work together and make this happen. So I'm excited about what we put together, and I'm sure Rick and Mandy will go a little bit further in showing you how it all works. And the last thing, Rick, we wanted to make this something that was based on mathematics and not, hypothetical, these companies that promise you 3% a week or a day or whatever the crazy numbers are. And of course, they can't tell you how they're going to deliver that. And 99% of the time they don't. This is something where when you get your commissions, when a board breaks, as we call it, all the money's accounted for. So there's really nothing that can go wrong conceptually with that. So with that said, I'll turn it back to you guys, and we'll see where we're at. Okay?
Okay, thanks, Bobby. I appreciate that. You guys,
Thank you.
What Bobby just said, and again, to reiterate where Mandy, the issues she and I have been talking about is it's very important that, when you look at the opportunity as you are and as you have, you're here, you're with us. So now that you're here, what are you looking for? And we're going to take a quick minute or two and talk about the new toolbox program, the system information system that Mandy and our team have put together. This is a completely independent piece to work from to provide all of you with information about your Swarm business, and also provide a sales piece that you can forward to your prospects. So, Mandy, before we take a few questions, talk to us about the Swarm Club. What is it? How does it work? Why is it important to participate? Just take a minute or two and lay that out for everybody, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. I'll see if I can bring it up on the screen at the same time if I've got it here. Yes, I do. So we've got a website that is called the Swarm Club that as everyone joins, they will get this. And so what is so important about this, the Swarm Club, is it's got all the information you need on it. So you don't have to spend your time, excuse my screen going a little bit. Well, you don't have to spend your time thinking, I've got to study this, I've got to learn a pattern, what to say, what to send, what to do. What we have here is one website which you can see it says join Mandy on EDU Swarm. It'll have your username there where the red box is towards the bottom here. Okay, so we've got everything. We've got a homepage that shows you all about just what this website is about, and it also has some testimonials from people such as Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett, who are, major legends out there, major entrepreneurs, and how they sort of also embrace this style of business. So you have that. Then you have About EDU Swarm, which tells you all about it. It's got the mission statement, what EDU Swarm is about. It's got an 8-minute video that is also on the main EDU Swarm website, and it goes through talking of the products and what EDU Swarm is about. Then we've got the rewards comp plan, and I'm just waiting to have uploaded a new video at the top of this page. But if you're watching this as a recording, you may see there's a different video there. It's a video of the full comp plan, just for the affiliates. This is a site built by the affiliates for the affiliates. Yes, we have customers at EDU Swarm. Yes, we attract customers, but this site is for our affiliates, and that's why it's a little bit more focused on the affiliate side and our income and how it goes. On the main EDU Swarm site, it has to be a little bit less biased towards the affiliates, because when you look at legislations across the world, they have EDU Swarm has to be compliant to show that this is a legitimate business, that there are customers, that there are affiliates, and so therefore it's a 50-50 balance on the product and then how this works. But this is just 100% for the affiliates to see how this goes. Then we have links about Bitcoin. It informs what is Bitcoin, how to set up a Bitcoin wallet, how to purchase Bitcoin, and how to spend your Bitcoin, such as on Visa cards, or when you can use mobile apps and instantly pay using your Bitcoin, transfer Bitcoin to fiat money, move to your bank. I mean, it really is the same as using regular money. However, it's far more secure, and your transactions cost a lot less. Your bank charges are pretty high. This is very nice low cost fees. So don't be scared thinking, I don't know what this Bitcoin stuff is about. You can learn just from the simple explanations on this page. And then once you join the EDU Swarm, we've got the products which go a little bit deeper. You can have a lot more education on what is Bitcoin, what is the blockchain, and learn a lot more. So here we have, again, what is the blockchain? And then most importantly, because particularly for people who have not ever used Bitcoin before, it's got how to set up your Bitcoin wallet, how to join, and then it's got step-by-step images of, choose which level of these two levels you wish to come in at. the form that you fill in, what is a username, and select click pay with Bitcoin, and then you tick the boxes here. One of them is for if you wish to become an affiliate. It says I agree to, because to become an affiliate is no extra charge here. What you're doing is you're purchasing the product to become a product of the product, so you have knowledge of what we have, and then by checking that box, you can become an affiliate free, and that's what starts puts you into the zone to commence earning. So this is what the Swarm website is about. It's built by the affiliates for the affiliates, and that is the whole reason we have that. So it was like a bit of a flash, quick walkthrough on this, but we just felt it was highly important to have something, again, I'm using the terminology, built by the affiliates for the affiliates, because we've encountered these questions. So rather than turn into, when we have to keep saying the same sentences, but it'd be repetitive throughout the day, if someone says, well, I don't know what this is, or how do I get started, you can point them at the link and say, go to the how to get started at the how to join link. Now, if you get stuck, please, give me a call and I'll help you, but it's there. And then they will see how this is easy to duplicate and show others and educate others about EDU Swarm, about how to set up their wallet, about how to buy their Bitcoin, and how to get started here. So that is important. Duplication and keeping it simple is key. So I think I've covered that, Rick. I'll hand it back to you for now.
Mandy, you did a great job. You're right. And in fact, I'm going to just, one of the questions is, I see that we have the Swarm Club website. What is the purpose? And you just mentioned it in passing, but I just want to go back and kind of touch it up a little bit. One of the things, guys, that is very important is that the face of the company, has to be as close to 100% compliant with as many laws and regulations as you can humanly be compatible with. And the reason for that is that every company, and people say, well, if they're registered outside the United States, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, guess what? It all matters. And there's no reason not to be legal and compliant. And that's the company's attitude. That's the refreshing thing about, for me, working with a gentleman that I know his business ilk and I know his fiber. He's going to do it the right way. And the reason that many companies do not succeed is because the companies do not do things the right way. So the company ultimately goes away, leaving those of us on this call today saying, what are we going to do next Saturday? And, we're not here to what we're going to be doing next Saturday is exactly what we're doing today. And that's telling people about a company called EDU Swarm. And we're teaching people how to actually benefit from all of the many things that are taking place right now. So we have this site, like Mandy said, the site built by the people for the people, because we can say things in here. We can put down a testimonial or, put some information here on this site, because this is not owned and operated by the company. It's a third party that owns this site. So we can say a couple different things, and we can make some points, and we can help EDU Swarm. And that's all we are. We're an information gathering place, because think about it. You guys that are on this call today, leaders lead. We've got several that hit this call that came in right at the top of the hour. And I'm so thankful that you're here, because we want you to understand, guys, that, we're here, to see to it that this program is going to be the one. We will get phone calls, that, hey, I just found the greatest thing I've ever seen. Do you mind if I send it over to you to take a look? And I keep a little chart, of my few friends that I talk to frequently. I say, well, when we spoke in February, that was greatest thing number one. And we spoke in April, that was greatest thing number two. Now we're on 4 and it's only August. And they say, well, okay, what do you do? And I say, EDU Swarm, the same company that I was doing when I suggested you join us back 5 months ago, is now beyond, beta. It's on its way to stardom, and you're still looking around for the latest deal, and you want something that is fair, equitable, affordable, and provides value. And if you've got that, then you're home free. It's going to work, from that perspective. So that was a question that, I wanted to lay out there, because we do have a lot of people wondering, why this website. But the other piece, Mandy, as you know, is when people come into the business, and all of you that are on the call, that are here, your people this week are going to ask you, well, how do I find this? How do I find that? And keep in mind, if they're already a Swarm member, they have this site. And that leads me to the next question on the list. Mandy says, why do I have a username? What's a username? So you might explain how the usernames don't change and how this cross-references and how this ties in directly to the beautiful affiliate site. Guys, we've got a great website that the company produces for us. Don't think we don't, because it's very robust. It's got all of the information in there. This just capsulizes what does it take, and Mandy, why is this website designed the way it is by those of us who helped create it?
Okay, well, going to the username. The username is important, and it's what is key is to choose a username that you like, that is probably quite easy to spell out. You don't want something that's 20 letters and numbers, and that you can't easily pass on to someone else, because your username is on your main TheSwarm.com website, your affiliate link there, and we replicate that here over on this link. So you want something that you like, that's catchy, and you can't change it because this is embedded into the whole system. You can't think, oh, today I'm going to be KYZ WV123 Debbie does whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think tomorrow I'm just going to call it my Bitcoin or something like that. You can't just log into your office and change it, because this is impregnated throughout two websites. Everything that you do, if you've been marketing or if you've given out your link, it's already got your username on there. And if you change your username, that means your other websites or whoever you sent the information to, those links no longer work, and that can be pretty frustrating. So it's important to give it a little bit of thought as you're joining, as you're going through that signing up form and thinking, okay, username, what am I going to use here? You may wish, I use my own name. Some people don't want to have their own name out there. Some people like a catchy name. So, and some people use the same sort of username if they're in other businesses, creating a broader portfolio of online business income streams. So it's up to you, but that's the main thing. And it's the same thing with your email as well. Your email address is also embedded across both the websites. And that's how you're going to get your information. It's how we send you out the notifications to this call. So in your main TheSwarm back office, you can change your telephone number, you can change your personal information, but you cannot personally amend your email address or your username. Now, we're not saying that's not possible to be done. You can send in a ticket to support, but please be aware that, if you do change your username, if support say, yes, okay, we can amend that for you, and they do that, then you have to let myself or Rick know so that we can do the same here on this website. Otherwise, your Swarm website just won't work. Your old link will still be there, but it won't be hooking up to anything on the Swarm main site. So that's what's critical about, your username. Your username is the name that is representing you across both the main platform and onto this website as well. So, Rick, I want to just touch on something that you were talking about just now that doesn't, before we detract away from the main conversation, when we were talking about compliancy and some people who literally channel hop, and we've seen people be within like 4 businesses in 4 days, and longevity is what it's about. I was reading some articles today across the UK published by the FDA, which is a little similar to the FTC in the UK. And it's something that is key for people to think about, because we are not talking about investing here. Investing is not good. That's where people, investing anything, it's like they say when you buy stocks and shares, your investments may go up and they may go down. What we're talking about here is a one-time out-of-pocket getting started cost, and that cost pays for your product, your websites, marketing materials. We've got sales funnels, we have banners, images, you and your guests can come to these live calls. We've got a Facebook group. There's a lot of things that you're getting alongside of the products here. So it's just that one-time purchase. So it's not an investment. This is purchasing a business without all those other hefty things you get. If you purchase a bricks and mortar business, you've got a shop front, you have to do your window dressing, you've got staff, you've got to pay mortgage or rent. There's none of that here. This is practically like a business in a box. You opt for, are you going to join at the 0.01 Bitcoin or the 0.03 Bitcoin, depending on if you want to kick off one income stream or three income streams. And again, it opens up greater product usage if you're on the higher one. But it's for you to look at your personal budget, the speed you want to kick your business and get started, go from 0 to 1,000,000 miles an hour at, and you just look at all those things that, when you dig your hand in your pocket, it may not be just about counting up the loose change that you've got there today. It might be worth thinking, well, if I just wait a few more days, I've got another payday, why don't I just come in at this higher level because I see the benefits? Or it could be, well, this is the level I can afford at. I'm coming in at bronze, the 0.01. That is what I'm going to do. But come in with a clear decision. So just wanted to add that, Rick, because we were talking about the compliancy, and I know that Google and Facebook, they've all put a block on people promoting investments and ICOs because it's a little bit of a dodgy market. We're not saying don't do that. We're not showing you that sort of information. Bitcoin is the currency we use here. We could be using Japanese yen. We could be using the euro. We could be using the dollar. We are using Bitcoin as the currency. You use Bitcoin to join, you are paid Bitcoin. That is the only involvement with Bitcoin. It is not an investment, and you're not going through investment risks with us. So with that, I'll hand you back to the next question, Rick. But I just felt that I wanted to, get off my soapbox and announce that.
Great answer, Mandy. Yeah. Next question on here. We hear you and Mandy on the training calls and the conference calls. Do you have any ownership in the company? No, unfortunately, we don't. Bobby is he protects his equity, but he's told us to go to work and help him build his company, and he'll pay us well. So we believe in that, and we're going to do that. So no, we don't, guys. We're here, leaders lead, and Mandy, myself, Kenny Stewart, and a handful of others are stepping up, to lead the way. Remember, the company is only 90 days old. People think it's 5 years old because, quite honestly, the material and what we have for support is way above average for any new company that's in their first, even their second year. So that's why people think we would have a lot of things here that we do have, but there's more and more to come all the way down the line. One other thing I think, guys, that we want to touch on is what about what happens if Bitcoin soars? And that's another major point, and then we'll probably close her down for the day because I'm going to get Mandy's comment on this too. Before I do that, I want to just digress for 1 second. You heard me say earlier, what is blockchain technology? Well, you know what? Most of you may not even be able to give a good explanation of the blockchain and the technology and how it works. A lot of people are still, it's hard to believe, don't know or haven't heard about Bitcoin. They don't know anything about cryptocurrency. So you've got a great chance here to be the teacher. And you know what? If you love this business, you're really a teaching storyteller is what it all boils down to. You're not selling anybody anything. You find out what they know or don't know, and then you try to add to it. And if you think you can put together something of interest to both parties, then you've got a marriage and a team to carry it forward. So what is blockchain, and how does it work, and why does it work? Well, blockchain, pure and simple, is a transaction that is electronically recorded through cryptographic codes and information that allows one party to deal directly with another party. And because it is confirmed by multiple anonymous sources, it's totally accepted by everyone who uses the block. So instead of having to go through 5 different locations to get a product delivered to me, if I find out on the internet that Mandy has a particular product in Corfu, Greece that I would like to purchase, okay, I find out, well, how can I get it? And if I lived in Corfu, I could buy it direct. I could go there. But if I don't, I have to go through, whoever the importer is, the United States. I've got to go through a warehouse distribution center. I've got to go to a retail store. And ultimately, after 5 different people have touched that product, I take possession. Well, that's great. I got what I wanted, but nobody does anything for nothing, guys. Every time that importer, that retailer, that truck driver, the wholesaler, every time they touched my product, I paid a little bit more for that product. So with blockchain, I'm in a conversation with Mandy on the internet, and I say, you don't happen to take blockchain or Bitcoin cryptocurrency, do you? It's part of the blockchain. Yes, I do. So instead of going through all the processes of how do I pay for it, I get her receiver code, just like yours. You got a receiver code and a send code in your wallets, your electronic wallets. And I send Mandy my Bitcoin, and she makes arrangements to ship her product to me direct. Now, do you think it's going to cost me less transacting that way or the old traditional means? See, that resonates. I see that, whoa, I just got a hold of the person who makes it and they'll ship it to me direct, and I don't have to go through 5 other people to get what I'm looking for. So absolutely, that's what's happening with blockchain technology, guys. That's what I'm saying. It's peer-to-peer transaction without having to go through multiple layers and sources, for it to happen. So having said that, Bitcoin, which is the premier cryptocurrency, and all Bitcoin is, guys, is one of many cryptocurrencies that you can transact with. It happens to be the one that you can do more transactions with than probably all the other ones combined in terms of its acceptance and its knowledge of use around the world. But one of our fulfillment wishes is to make sure that we always allow our members to have an affordable program. So Mandy, what happens, this is one of the questions that came out, what happens if the Bitcoin soars in value as predictions and forecasts are saying, and our packages are then out of reach for people to purchase and to join TheSwarm? I'm starting to hear that now that it's moving. What do we do?
I love that question. That is where the TheSwarm development team, they will introduce a lower entry platform. It's that simple. They will build a lower entry platform, still a similar, identical style matrix, and it will just be, let's just say, for example, rather than 0.01 of a Bitcoin, it might be 0.005 of a Bitcoin, which is half of that cost. So there is no big fear about this being, pricing itself out beyond anyone's reach. It's just a case of, okay, we'll open the doors and we'll make it affordable, keep it affordable, and that can happen again and again. So it will just be that we see TheSwarm create another matrix. Just at a lower cost that makes it affordable, keeps it at the same entry, like the same sort of value as today. Let's just say it's $100. Let's use round numbers. Let's say it's $100 today to come in at the 0.01. That's the equivalent. I know it's only about 75, 80, but keep round numbers. Well, let's say then they keep focusing on, well, okay, we'll keep it the same value amount. The Bitcoin's gone up. We'll then open up this other matrix at 0.005 of a Bitcoin, and that may then at that moment in time still be equivalent to the $100. So there's no fear of this going so that it's not short term, and when Bitcoin goes up in value, well, that's the end of the business. That just means that we're going to have more opportunity within the business because we'll have a greater amount of cycles in there that we can be creating our income from.
Absolutely, Mandy. That's a great point. And guys, remember, TheSwarm, one time out of pocket, okay, and it's a follow me program, so you don't pay to re-enter, but when you complete stage 1 and you get ready to go on the next stage 1 board, the computer looks for your enroller, and wherever he or she is, it drops you in on that current board, so you're back active on stage 1 again. It also, the computer automatically puts you onto stage 2. You start the process on stage 2. It's running simultaneous with stage 1, and the same things happen for stage 3, 4, 5. Ultimately, you're going to be moving through all 5 stages at the same time. So, guys, I don't know what's holding you back. The only thing I could think of would be an economic decision, and that's a takeaway because I'll tell you, 90% of the prospects that you're going to speak to, are going to go out to dinner and a movie this weekend and have a bottle of wine. And for that, they could be a member here and they could be securing their financial future and trying to figure out what they can do to have a better lifestyle. Because if you believe half of what you read, you know that Bitcoin is destined to go back to 20,000 plus per coin. We're not trying to hype anything here. It's just a fact. But even if it stayed the same or goes to 7,000, 8,000, the fiat currency in your pocket, whether it's British pound sterling or euros or yen or dollars or whatever, guess what, guys? The value there is not going to increase. It's going to decrease. It cannot appreciate. So you're in a great place. You're in a great time. You have a great group of people. I'm so pleased to be here, knowing who we're involved with and, like I say, the caliber and the intent, where their heart's at for the long haul. So, Mandy, I'm going to kick it back to you. Let you say goodbye to the crowd. Thanks for being here. Let them know about Tuesday, and we'll talk to all of you the next time. Back to you, Mandy.
I've just got one more question that comes up. I don't want to keep people on the call for too long, but one thing I do say, I get asked a lot, was what happens if I earn, I see that I've cycled and I earn, but because we have that qualification that you can withdraw your income after you've introduced 2 people. Now, if you haven't introduced 2 people, and you now have 90 days for this, it was 30, it's extended out to 90 days. So it's plenty of time, work with myself, work with Rick, work with the person who introduced you to this opportunity. And if you cycle and you see that you've accrued some income, that will just sit in your wallet, just waiting for you to introduce your 2 people. Then you click a button once you've done that, and you can withdraw to your wallet. So don't think that, oh, well, I haven't done this, or I can't do this within 30 days. 90 days, I mean, that's 3 months. Good grief, it's practically Christmas going between 90 days from today until then. So I just want to add that. And I want to thank everyone for being on this call. We are just about to hit the busiest time of the year. In the UK this weekend, it's what they call a bank holiday weekend. Back to school happens next week. So it's really eyes down focus. And so everyone would love to have a free Christmas. Let's attract people and show them how we can do that. Here in Greece today is a massive celebration. I can hear, even though it's daytime, I can hear fireworks going off outside and bands going up and down the road. And next weekend in the USA, there's Labor Day. And again, I know that Rick has already told me how after that it's back to school, and it's the focus on the fall, which we call the autumn, and the height of activity starts. So this is, enjoy the last couple of days where you think, oh, I'm going to put my feet up and go slow, because you want to move as fast as you can from next week, because everyone is going to be hearing about EDU Swarm. So with that, I want to just tie a bow on this and say thank you very much, Bobby. Thank you very much, Rick. And thank you, your guests who have been on this call and members who have been on this call, for joining us and taking time out on your Saturday. And bye-bye for now.